Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here this afternoon because I know I'm not talking to ordinary men and women. I'm talking to present and potential leaders. And I know that for you to have gone this far, especially our graduates of today, it means that you are not one of those people who love to be in the normal traffic. You like to get to that place where we call extra mile. And the people who go to extra mile, they are those who succeed. Anyone that wants to do the normal thing will just be in the middle of the normal people. But when you find those who are ready to go to the extra mile, they are the people who are successful. And why are they successful? Because where we call extra mile, we have less people there, and so there is no traffic. And that makes it possible for them to be able to make success beyond others. So today we'll be going through something very important, and you already know, leading through value creation. So let's run through our slides. Let's start with the first one now. I need to let you know that leadership is uninterrupted action. And why I said uninterrupted, that means anyone who is looking at a leadership position cannot sleep, cannot slumber, cannot rest, cannot relax. Leadership, again, like the slide tells us, is not position. So I'm the firstborn in my family. Does not make me a leader. And so you find out that in that kind of a family, maybe the third born will now be the person that everybody is devolving to. He's the one that can talk to the parents. He's the one that when he talks, everybody is listening. He's the one that will say, let's do it like this, and everybody is going that way. That's the leader in that family, not the firstborn. And so you need to know that leadership is not about position. As entrepreneurs that are graduating today, you can own your organization, and then a leader will come into that organization and take control. And then you find that you are asking him, go and tell the others, go and tell the staff. So whenever he does not agree with something, it becomes a challenge to drive that process. That's the leader in your organization. And so leadership is about somebody who can gather followers, somebody who can bring together people and get them to follow where he's going. So when he says, let's go, they follow him. And you find them in employment. You find them as entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs are those in employment, but they have entrepreneurship mind, entrepreneurship interest, entrepreneurship drive. And then you now have entrepreneurs. So I'll be talking to the three set of people this day. Those three people I've mentioned to us: the employee, the entrepreneur, and the entrepreneur. Next slide, please. Now, before I go forward, I'm going to tell you a story. The story of two young men. These two young men, schooled in the United Kingdom, they went to university in UK. And while they were in school, they got an idea. Look, see our classmates. They want to move about, and they find it difficult at times. So they set up logistic programs. So they put together small cars, not very expensive one, not very big cars, small cars, and motorbikes, which they were renting out to students. They made so much money. At the end, they moved to Nigeria, back to Nigeria when they finished. And they went into one of the universities in Nigeria to start the same thing. Not only did they fail, they were owing the bank 30 million debts before they realized it. And so you need to follow. When we talk about value creation in leadership, you need to see that it's about growing a business. That's one. Growing that business by creating value. We are going to talk about what value creation means. And then it goes to the environment. That was the mistake they made. They carried what worked in one environment to another environment that they did not test, to another environment that they were not sure of, and they wanted to do the same thing there. But it's about an environment where you, as an employee, where you, as an employer of labor, where you, as a leader, because I know I'm talking to leaders, spiritual leaders, and young corporate leaders and young spiritual leaders. I know some of us probably were house fellowship leaders, you know, already. And so, as a house caring fellowship leader, you are also a leader in your right in that small cell group. When you have somebody who is, I'm not coming today, and everybody is not coming, that person has taken over leadership from your hand. So you need to go back to God and go and say, Father, you put me here. I must not lose this control. These are supposed to be people you have given me to lead and to make sure that I deliver them to the church of God and I deliver them to your presence. And now somebody has come in and he has taken over. So you need to be sure that you are delivering value. That's why you are here today. So you need to be able to apply all that we are going to learn today to your spiritual and your corporate lives. Now, I move us again to that environment where you derive right to exist. As an organization, you derive right to exist from a community. If that community says no, your business is dead. So everything we are looking at today is going to be talking about value creation. It's going to be talking about growing followership, growing the business, growing the system. He's going to be talking about creating value in that system. And he's going to be talking about the environment where you exist. Those are the things that we'll be looking at this afternoon. Next slide, please. Now, when you are looking at value creation must deliver these 5 tests. These 5 tests must be delivered before you begin to talk about value creation. And there are P's. There are 5 P's. So let's start from the first one. It talks about purpose test. And I will simply give you, purpose is talking about vision, your reason for existing. Do you know your reason for existing? In your place of work, do you know your reason for existing? In your own business where you established, why are you existing? In the church of God, in the small place where you have been given by the church to lead, the few number of people you are asked to direct and to guide, you have a purpose that you must define. It helped somebody like Joseph. Joseph recognized his purpose. He had a vision. So purpose is about a vision. What's the vision you have today? While you are going through your lessons, what crossed your mind? What were those ideas that passed through your mind? What brought those ideas about? And now that takes us to the next one. Did they come from your passion? We all have things that we are passionate about. So when you are going to be talking today and talking about value creation, you must be passionate about whatever you are doing. Because if you are not passionate, when challenges come, you will run away. When issues arise, you will run away. And that's why it is very critical that you pass the passion test. Number 3 is the problem test. Let me tell you something. When you set up a company, and what is on your mind is about profit. It's about money you want to make, and not about value that you want to give to the people that will buy your product. Ask yourself, has my product passed the problem test? What am I talking about? I'm talking about the fact that people can ignore your product. When you bring a product to the market, people can say, no, we don't want. When you bring a service to the market, people can say, we don't want. But people cannot refuse. People cannot reject. People cannot say no to a solution to their problem. So you must, first of all, create or generate problem. A problem generation process must happen when you are coming up with your idea. What problem is this my idea solving? When you now know the problem that the idea is solving, you go to the people test. How many people will my solution help? Now I have gotten the problems. People are finding it difficult to move from one place to another. People are finding it difficult to get food in this environment. Let me tell us a very small story. Story of one young man who was living in Mushi. I'm telling us something that happened. And he found himself, because his parents got uplifted. And then he found himself in Ikoyi. And so he was there first week, second week, and he was asking himself, what is this now? In Mushi, if I just stepped out of the house, I will see akamu seller. These Ogi people. And I will just buy, because every Saturday morning, I'm used to taking my akamu. What am I going to do now? He came, but before that time, he had attended a program like you are attending today. And they told him that whatever problem you have in a particular environment, remember I told us about environment, there are other people in that environment who have the same problem. So it crossed his mind. That means I want to drink Ogi, I want to drink Akamu, and I can't get. Because here, they are not allowed to hawk. Hawkers are not allowed in this our environment as compared to my machine that I'm coming from. And so what happened? He remembered, I must provide solution. So he started building up that idea. And then he told the mom, Mommy, you are going to start selling Akamu. I'm going to set it up for you, and you will start selling. And that was how he started. It's a success story today, this young man. The mom is making so much money, especially they have included technology in their distribution and their marketing. And they are selling so much in that environment. So, but how many people have the same problem, the same Akamu problem that I have? So this young man had to solve that problem first. He had to look for the people with the same problem that he had. And so that was how he was able to realize that, okay, we are so many, and then he moved ahead. Now, the final one is that he's going to pass the profit test. If you have a vision, you have a purpose, like Joseph, it must bring you profit. What did I say? What did I say? It must bring you profit. A vision is just a joke. A vision is in a dream. In reality, it must bring money. If it does not bring profit, it has not passed all the 5 tests. And so, whatever value, whatever idea that is crossing your mind, even when it has been able to solve problems, people's problems, if it does not have all these 5 attached to it, there will be a challenge for you. Next slide, please. Now, I want to run us through about 3 or 4 wonderful entrepreneurs. They are young. Look at Mosiah. When Mosiah was 9 years old, and then as I'm saying these things, I want you to cast your mind back to my 5 P's. So that you are looking for them here in my 5 P's. Mosiah was a young boy of 9, and he realized that he liked beautiful and flashy things as a young boy. Then he was using bow ties. Unfortunately, the bow ties that adults were creating were not beautiful enough for him. He wanted to wear bow ties, but he wanted them more beautiful. For children like himself, what did Mosiah, what did he do? He decided to talk to the mother, and together he started designing colorful bow ties. And he was now selling to children of his age. at some point, the stores, the international stores, the major stores in America, saw that Mosiah was making so much money, and they wanted to cash in. And so they moved in with Mosiah and said, come and be dropping them in our shops, instead of carrying them up and down. Now Mosiah sells his bow ties in big and massive shops and complex in America. Next slide, please. Next. Michael became an entrepreneur because he saw a problem and said, I must create a solution to this problem. And what was the problem? He saw that in his community, children like himself, he had an opportunity. He had an edge because of the house, the family he came from. So he was able to understand financial education. But he looked at his classmates. He looked at the other teenagers. He looked at the other children in his environment. And he saw that they didn't have financial literacy. What did he do? He started teaching basic financial literacy in his environment. And that's what he does now. And from the money he makes, he now puts back into his community. He invests in things in his community that will make the community grow. That's what he does. Next slide. Cory Bishop. He designed at 10 years. At 10 years, he saw that something happened. A young child, a car caught fire. And when the car caught fire, the adults ran out. They forget the baby. They forgot the baby inside the car. So what did he do? Instead of talking, instead of complaining, instead of holding the kind of discussions some of us hold, I learned that they told us yesterday not to hold such discussions. Blaming, abusing, talking about, is that government, is that governor, is that man, is that... While we are doing that, some people are solving problems and making money. That problem that you are seeing, that everybody is complaining about, look at it. Look at what is happening now. We're having this foreign exchange crisis. That's a very big opportunity. Because most of the things that we bring, they will begin to get so expensive. So what are those things that people must buy? What are those things that people must get? And they get them from outside the country. So they pay foreign exchange. So foreign exchange now is going to make it more difficult for them. Instead of sitting down with people and abusing central bank and abusing everybody about foreign exchange, this is a problem. Where are the solutions? Where can I go in? That's what you need to be thinking about. So, Cory, what did he do? He created a software that will make the environment to become cool when a child is forgotten in a car. So that that child will not suffocate from heat. What's that? A solution to a problem. Next slide. Shane and Nigel, they are children of the same parents. One day, they created bakery things And when they did, they saw that people were rushing them. They said, look, this can become a business. Today, they have a big bakery. These children, look at them. They have a big bakery where they now sell bakery products. What's the problem around you? What's the solution you are thinking about it? Do not, you remember there was a time when we had light. Some of us didn't know that time. We had good light some time ago. Then our light started going bad, going bad, going bad. And while we were all shouting, oh, NEPA, oh, NEPA, do you know that people from outside came into our country? They came in with generators. They gave us solution. And now we are stuck with them. We are all running around. And so when they bring back the light, we shout, hey, up NEPA. And we were busy abusing government. But people saw that as a problem that needed solution. What's the problem in your community? What's the problem that as I'm speaking now, you think you have identified and you have a passion for? Begin to think. Next slide, please. Oh, now we have come home. Afoluwa Oyegbile is a DLCF member. She's in OAU. And she realized that she has a talent, a passion for crafts. What did she do? She started making special designs with African prints and kente, the Ankara. Look at them. Look at them. Look at what she did to a notebook. Look at what she's doing. She's still a student and she's going. She's moving. She's making progress. She did not come to the program you have attended, but passion drove her in 2016. And her mother helped her by supplying her just one sewing machine. Now she has moved far. Can you hear what she said? I started from making this product, from experimenting on bags for my sibling, neighbors, and family friends. Today, see where we are. We are on our way to put our unique products on the global market. That's a student. That's a student. I have one of my mentees in Orange Corner. His name is Dozie Idoko. What's he doing? He's being funded by Orange Corners as we speak. He's using waste, plastic waste. 2, sawdust. 3, small sharp sand. He's using those 3 things to make and to create blocks for building houses. Those stones, paving stones, he's making them now. He's making roofing sheets. From these 3 products, how many years of graduation? Just like you. He's a young man. And he's being funded. What are you thinking about? Let's move forward. The only thing you will see with all these people, you will see that they are successful in that relationship between them and the people. In that relationship between them and their consumers. Because they have created and they are delivering value that is efficient enough to generate profit. This is it. And this, what is this doing? This is spreading joy among people. I give you a challenge today. Before you sleep today, write 10 problems. and 10 possible solutions. That you know that if you give yourself to it, you will deliver the solutions. Next slide, please. Now, what is value? Value is the present and the potential capacity you have to serve those people that are your stakeholders. What capacity do you have? The present one, the ones you can acquire. Those are the things that you are selling. Those are the things that you will apply to the problem that you are finding the solution to. So what value are you bringing to the table? So when you want to talk to your stakeholders, they are asking you, what are you bringing to the table before you can take our money? Next slide, please. Let me not pass that place without telling you that value is defined by your stakeholders. You are not the one that defines value. I'm going to talk to us now about your stakeholders. Your stakeholders define what is valuable. So when you come to the market, you must be able to know that what you are presenting to them is actually valuable to them. If you present it, and that's why people have to pass through. You see those young men I told us about, who brought what they were doing in UK and planted it in Nigeria. They did not do what we call product development process. Because you must do your product development process so that you can know when you are missing it and where you are missing it. You cannot plant something from there and bring it here. Now, who are your stakeholders? There are 3 of them. The first one, I call them your partners. I would have simply said your customers, but I know that those partners, they are more than one. And so I cannot just say customers. So I call your customers consumers. After you have finished with the customers, okay, so they want my akamu. They have a challenge of getting akamu like I'm getting. So how do I? Now you need to think about your inbound and outbound logistics. How do I supply it to them? Who are the people that will join me? Those are your partners. And in doing that, you must create value for them. They must benefit something. So you cannot just say, hey, come and help me to be selling this thing. And the person says, okay, so what's your plan? And you are saying, no serious plan. It's just for you to help me. And then no. You must create value for him. He must see that if I join Kunle, if I join Joshua, if I join Esther in this business, and I'm helping him to distribute this product, I will get value for all my sweat. So you want to think about those who will help you to share. Those are your outbound. Who are your inbound? Your suppliers. Your suppliers must get value. And that's why they tell you, remember I told us about people. And that's why they must get value. They must get value from supplying you. And that's why some of them will say, if you are not buying up to so quantity, we can't really do business with you. So you need to look for people that will patronize you. You need to know that people that will patronize you will be enough to compensate your inbound logistics, your suppliers that you will use to manufacture the product, and then complementary products, bread and butter. So where is butter? So if I'm baking bread, where is butter? Is butter around here? So what do I do? So the person that is selling complementary product. The person that is selling the butter, how do I carry him along? So that I can tell him, I will be selling 200 loaves of bread every week. Please get enough butter that can meet the demands of the people that are buying my bread. So you must think about them. Those are your partners. Next slide, please. Now, these are what your partners count as value. That's what they are looking for. Number one, they are looking for product and service quality. Your product must be of the quality and the standard they want. Number two, your systems and processes of getting to you, getting your product, especially in this day that we have learned that we don't need to drive around all the time. You want to have a 10-minute meeting, before COVID. You want to have a 10-minute meeting and you have to drive from the mainland inside traffic for 2 hours to go and hold a meeting of 10 minutes on the island, and you drive another 2 hours back. Nobody is doing that today. How do you make it easy for those who want to patronize you, those who want to be your distributors? Without getting to you, can they fill a form? Can you get all their information? Technology is at your, all you just need is do this. And technology will tell you what to use to make your systems and processes right. Number three, remember, keep this at the back of your mind. Never forget it. Because it's something every human being does. We draw what they call value map. We all draw value map. I gave this man 200 naira. See what he gave me. Is this thing worth 200 naira? When you get home, after buying something, you ask that question. Your consumers will ask the same question. Your inbound logistics, is this business paying me? Look at how much this man is paying for all the wahala I am doing. He will draw a value map. And when he draws that value map, he will tell himself, I'm not getting value for my money. I'm no longer interested. So they draw value map. When they draw that value map, they must not be at a loss. So always think that you are going to be looking at a win-win situation. Your partners must win and you must win. When you are a selfish person, you cannot deliver value. When you are thinking only about yourself in business, in employment, you cannot deliver value. In any relationship where you find yourself, a husband that is selfish will not deliver value. It will be a problem to that relationship. A wife that is selfish will be a problem to that relationship. It is the same in all relationships. If you are not delivering value, people will draw their value map and they will walk away. Number four, there must be shared values. I am a leader, and I come to you. What are you doing today? I'm going to Shagam. And me, I'm going to Ekpe. Please now, can we go to Ekpe together? When we come back, you can quickly drive to Shagam. And because of your leadership capacity, I told us about capacity, your present and potential capacity to serve and to deliver value is very critical. So the man says, I'm going to Ekpe. For me to for me to follow you, I'm going to Shagam. For me to follow you, what is in it for me? What value is in it for me? And you tell the man, don't worry. When we come back, I will help you to get to Shagam. On Third Mainland Bridge, you now enter traffic. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. the man is going to tell you, I have to go back. I'm no longer going with you to Ekpe. Because I will miss my Shagam. That is shared value. If the people that are following you, if they do not share the same value with you, so you need to first of all get them and get people who will share the same value with you into your boss. So that when you are going, nobody is saying, I'm no longer going. So those are the things that your partners are looking for. Next slide, please. The next set of people are your employees. If your employees, if you are a business person, you are already thinking today, after your course, after your training, I want to set up this small business. I'm going to employ 1 person, 2 persons. If you do not make sure that they are on the same lane with you, you will lose them and nothing will happen. And what are the things they are looking for? I already told us about shared values. Your employees are also, for them to be motivated, for them to have the energy and the drive to do your work well, they must share values with you. You cannot just be thinking about yourself, you need to think about them. Treat them respectfully. Every employee wants to be treated respectfully. And employment is, I bring something, you give me something. Don't make it look like you are doing somebody a favor when you employ them. You are not doing them, they are giving you service and you are paying for that service. So don't think that they are your slaves. Respect them. Number 3, involve them in your decision making. Even if it's very little, let them feel part of the business. Number 4, excellent work environment. It's not an environment that they will wake up. Your employees must not wake up and be wondering whether they want to go to work today or they want to call you to say, I'm not feeling too well, sir. I'm not feeling too well, ma. Don't create that kind of environment. Number 5, continued training and development. Train your employees. Make them to be able. Give them capacity so that they can meet the capacity of your customers. So that they can do it the way you want. So train them, develop them. Next slide, please. Value for investors. You have people who are investing in that your business. Maybe your angel investors. Those your uncles, your aunties, your friends. Those who have put small money into that your business to make it run. Make sure that you give them, what are they looking for? The value you need to produce for them, high returns on investment. Strong revenue. They must see the revenue growing. They must see your cash position. It's not that every time you are telling them, hey, we need to go and take a loan from the bank. They don't want to hear that because they will be afraid. So create cash position, attractive profit margin, and quality brand equity. They want to hear the name of the company that they have put money in. And they want to be sure that that name is a name they want to identify with. It's a name that matches their life objectives. So make sure that you carry them along in any area that you are. Next slide, please. Now, you can see where we end up. You now have that dot of value creation where partners, employees, and owners of the business, where they meet. That's the point. It is, the bigger that dot is, the bigger your value creation capacity and the bigger the success of your organization. Next slide. And so to attain and maintain industry leadership, Now, you have to make sure that you are increasing value. Your value of yesterday must not be the value of today because the environment is dynamic. Don't be like Kodak. When the digital camera came out, Kodak was still busy selling films. And people were saying, what's wrong with these people? Can they not see that we don't need films again? Don't be like Rank Xerox. Don't be like IBM. Don't be a company that will die because it's not increasing. It's not moving up in its value creation. Next slide. Now, this brings me to, this is like my second to the last slide. But I need to show you this. And you need to look at this. For your organization to grow, you need to understand this matrix. When you want to create, when we are talking about value creation, number one, look at the horizontal axis. You will see two boxes there. One says existing products, the other one says new products. When you look at your vertical axis, you will see existing market and new market. So you are looking at your market and your products. Those are the things you tinker with for value creation. And those are the things you work on for your value to continue to grow. You remember our last slide? Your value must be looking up. When it looks down, there will be a challenge. Profit will go, everything will go, customers will go, everybody will run away. It must continue to look up. Yes, that's our slide. Now, look at the first box, up to the left. It says existing market, existing product. So how do you increase? So you have to create value with your existing product in your existing market. What do you now do to your present customers? Number one, to keep them. Number two, to increase them. What do you do? So you need to think about that every night when you want to sleep. When you finish your quiet time, Father, tell the Lord, I need to think about this today. When you have finished thinking about the growth in the kingdom, come to the growth in your business and ask yourself, existing products in existing market. The next to your right, that box to your right, it says new products in existing market. So you want to introduce something to those people that are already buying from you. So let's assume now, for example, you sell engine oil. You have not been involved in selling brake oil. So you introduce brake oil. It becomes easier for you to sell your brake oil to your existing customers because they already know you. So you bring in a new product and thereby you create value. Next one, the below one to your left, new market in the existing product. So you look for other places. I've been selling here now. I'm selling what can I think about? I'm selling my bread in our area. I'm selling my pure water in our area. I want to move to the next area. Who am I? The first thing you think about here, who are my present outbound logistics? Who are my distributors? What do I do for them in this area? What do they look like? When you can define what they look like and you understand them, when you get to the new market, you are looking for people who look like that. When you go to the bank and they ask you to fill your form and they are asking questions, that's why they are asking you the question, where do you stay? Where do you work? You have opened an account with us in this bank. We are looking for people like you. And so what we need to do is to get your information so that when we get to the new market, we are looking for people who work in the kind of place you work, who live around the place where you live. So if you are, let me give you an example. You are a school and you charge 50,000, example, 50,000 per term. And you have one man who has come to you. He has 3 children. Don't forget to charge 50,000 naira per term. He has 3 children. And he's on 100,000 naira salary. And he wants to bring 3 children to your school. You already know that he's going to owe you school fees. Because by the time you get his money and you get your school fees, you have taken 150,000 from him every term. And in that term, he earns 300,000 naira. He's going to eat. He's going to pay house rent. He's going to do all those things. Maybe he has a car. He's going to fuel the car. He's going to maintain the car. You already know that that's not your customer. So when you are expanding your market, you must think about that. Finally, new product in a new market. We have spoken about that so much. When you are creating new product, it must be, you must first generate problem and then you generate solution. Last slide. Listen to this. Customers buy solutions to problems, not a product. The journey of an entrepreneur should therefore start from a problem generation to an idea generation. Thank you very much.